Hi, I'm Scott Cummings, Sports Information Director at McKendree University, and I'm joined by Athletic Director Chuck Brueggemann. It is a great day, a historic day at McKendree University, as we have finally found out the long 3-year transition process has come to fruition. McKendree is full NCAA Division II members, and Chuck, first of all, congratulations. This is wonderful news received by the athletic department. Can you kind of reflect on your feelings about the news that this 3-year transition process has finally come to fruition, and it has been a successful one for McKendree University?
Yeah, obviously this is a big day, not only for our student athletes, but it's a big day for our staff. It's a big day for the university. Our staff has worked incredibly hard to pull this together. As you know, the process can be somewhat arduous,
right.
As you've been a part of it. The staff has worked very hard, not only the staff within the athletic department, but throughout the university. The leadership of Dr. Dennis has been steady, and it is a great day. It is a historic day, you're right. It is forever going to change this institution.
What does this successful transition mean for McKendree, both as an athletic department and a university as a whole?
I think the biggest thing, Scott, is that from this point forward, our coaches, as they walk into those kitchens and sit down at kitchen tables in the living rooms of our recruits, they're no longer explaining what the NAIA is. Everybody understands the NC2A brand. When we talk about the fact that we're in the Great Lakes Valley Conference, one of the strongest athletic and academic conferences in the country, people know that the schools that we're going to be playing, they know the likes of a Truman, a Missouri S&T, a UND, a Lewis, a Bellarmine, and that's a great group of institutions for McKendree to be a part of. So I think that's the biggest thing. Our coaches will have to coach at a higher level. I think the other thing that is of interest is, as coaches choose to retire and move on, if they choose to do that, we're attracting a higher level coach. The likes of a Lisa Orlett and a Mike Babcock and a John Van Buskirk and an Adam Reed. Those are all people who wouldn't be applying for positions at schools, less than a Division II school. So I think that the caliber of the coaching staff, the caliber of the student athlete that we're going to get, it's exciting for the institution. And then there are other things that we're going to have to do. We're going to be looking at stepping up our facilities, our game management, improving the fan experience. So those are all things that are going to be great for the institution and really separate where it is that we're going from where it is that we've been in our very rich history.
You came to McKendree last summer, right before we advanced the provisional year of membership in the NCAA Division II process. Please explain how important that provisional year is in membership for the institution, and what kinds of strides that McKendree made during this third and final year of the process.
Every year is important, Scott. Of course, you've been here for all of those, as the majority of the staff has been, and I've been the guy that's come on, Johnny come lately, and got to just cross the finish line, so to speak. But that last year was important. It demonstrates it. That provisional year, as you know, is that year in which McKendree acts as a full NC2A institution.
Correct.
And we're evaluated by the officiating crews that come in. Other schools get to comment about how it is that they're treated here. So we have to raise the bar as it relates to our fan experience, the experience for the visiting teams, and our hospitality. Our facilities have to be at the appropriate level for not only the Great Lakes Valley Conference, but for those schools that are participating at the Division II level. So it was an important year. I'm very pleased that we were able to meet the mark and to obtain the level of sportsmanship that was expected of us.
Now, last year was McKendree's first year as a member of the Great Lakes Valley Conference. The results were kind of a mixed bag across the board. Can you share your feelings on the Bearcats' first year in the GLVC and what you envision for McKendree in the coming year in the conference?
Sure. Athletically, it was certainly an eye-opening experience. We had some of our teams, the volleyball teams, the soccer teams, the tennis teams, we're right in the middle of the hunt, right? So we're really excited about what the future holds for them. We have other teams that understand that they have to to raise the bar, and the coaches are hard at work at recruiting athletes and preparing their teams to compete at a competitive level. But more important to me than that, Scott, is everybody sets aside the Great Lakes Valley Conference and they only talk about their athletic success. But I think it's important to talk about the academic success.
Definitely.
There's 23 conferences at the Division II level. The Great Lakes Valley Conference is certainly one of the strongest athletically, but they're also, and most important to me, they're one of the strongest academically. And I want to, tout our success there. The Great Lakes Valley Conference was third overall out of all of the 23 conferences at the Division II level. The Great Lakes Valley Conference ranked third in their GPA, which is very important. And it's important for us to be a part of that. What's exciting for me is 159 of our athletes, our student athletes, were scholar athletes in the conference. I think that speaks very well for McKendree. The other thing that is important is that ironically, both our men's and our women's tennis teams ended with a 3.77 GPA as a team. That's an unbelievable.
That is definitely.
Those two teams tied for the highest of all teams within the Great Lakes Valley Conference. So academically, McKendree's right there at the top, and athletically, we're going to be right at the top. It's just going to take us a couple of years to get there. But I'm excited that for our coaches to have the opportunity to build programs that are going to be competing at that high athletic level here within the next couple of years.
Now, you noted earlier it was a very busy 12 months in the McKendree University Athletic Department. I suspect the coming year will be just as busy, if not more so. Can you give Bearcat fans kind of a hint of what may be in store for the coming academic year?
Dr. Dennis is someone who has a crystal clear vision, and it's exciting to work for someone that has that kind of vision, and the Board of Trustees are very supportive of what it is that we need to do to grow this institution. As you know, Scott, and what we haven't talked about is the fact that we added 3 sports teams this previous year, and I'll come back and touch upon that. But we're looking at what are the teams that we should add next year, and there's certainly a couple that are right on the forefront. One of them is we added a full-time strength and conditioning coach,
right? And
with that, we are going to equip him to have a state-of-the-art conditioning facility, 7,500 square feet. It's in the design phase now. We're excited about the fact that next fall our student athletes are going to have that to use as a tool to improve their athleticism. But as part of that, we're looking at adding an Olympic lifting team. That is something that we are hearing more and more interest for those student athletes that are looking to come to McKendree. The other thing that we're looking at adding is trap shooting, and we'll continue to explore that and see what makes sense for us. But right down the road on Route 4, within 25 minutes is the nation's largest shooting complex
down in Sparta.
And it would be wonderful to be able to call that home and host some national level competitions there. And we're working through how it is that we can do that. But so we're excited about what next year is going to bring. Probably certainly something that I'm asked about on a daily basis is the new facility that we're talking with Hawk Development about. And as you know, Scott, Hawk Development is a private investor. He's a private developer that's looking at coming in and building a complex that would involve 2 sheets of ice, 2 ice rinks, an aquatic center, a hotel, and a conference center. And if the stars align, which they are certainly, it's improving every day, we will look at adding aquatic sports. We'll be looking at adding a second hockey team as well as a women's team. So we're excited about what that can do for our institution. I think that if that comes to be and it's close to McKendree here and we're able to call it home, that could be an additional 12 sports for us. So there's some exciting times that are coming down the pike for us.
Now, you alluded to the fact we added 3 sports this previous year: men's volleyball, women's wrestling, and bass fishing. I know you're very excited about those sports as well.
Yeah, I am very excited about it. You know, each one of them were done for different reasons. Let's talk a little bit about men's volleyball. Men's volleyball, you know, we haven't publicly talked about it. I guess I'm about to do that now. We've been accepted into the MIVA. The MIVA, which is the Midwestern Conference for Division I men's volleyball. You know, we'll be in the same conference as Ohio State and Ball State, and that's pretty exciting.
It is.
I can't wait to see the Ohio State buses roll onto this campus, and for our student athletes to be able to participate against that type of institution. So, you know, not only are our team's going to be able to compete at the Division II level, but this move is going to allow our men's volleyball team to compete at the Division I level, which is really exciting for them and for our institution. Women's wrestling, you know, people here in the Midwest aren't as used to women's wrestling as other parts of the country, but we're recruiting some 25 athletes here in this inaugural year out of the states of California and Texas and Ohio and Michigan and Florida. So it's just really taking the McKendree brand and even spreading it that much further. Right. We're excited about Sam Schmitz and what it is that he's going to be able to do. You know, he is very well respected in the women's wrestling world. In fact, he is coaching the U.S. team at the Worlds here this week. So, you know, we're proud of him, and we're proud of what it is that he's going to be able to do for our institution. Bass fishing is another sport that is growing rapidly at the high school level here in Illinois, and you know, we're just capitalizing on that. We're giving those student athletes an opportunity to continue their passion and bring it into the college level, and we'll be able to fish against the likes of University of Kentucky and Mizzou and Missouri State and Eastern Illinois. So it's going to be exciting to see what that does for us.
Wow, it's certainly a great time to be a Bearcat fan, a booster, a student athlete, administrator. Chuck, this is a historic day for McKendree University, and your leadership has certainly helped get us to the finish line. We do appreciate that. Congratulations. Good luck in the coming year, and best of luck as we move forward in NCAA Division II as full members. McKendree, as of September 1st, will be full members of NCAA Division II and will be postseason eligible. So Bearcat fans, come on out and support your McKendree teams, all 24 of them, as we move forward in 2013, 2014. Chuck, thanks again for joining us.
Thank you, Scott.
You have been watching us here on the Bearcat Sports Network. Have a great day.